give you some insights to this concept we call trading for income. So what does it mean and how can you actually learn to do it? I'm going to explain it to you in this short video. So quick disclaimer, this is for educational purposes only. Any information provided in this video is not to be used as financial advice. We're not licensed advisors. Simply put, please be smart, please be logical as you go through these videos, not only this video, but the other videos on our website. So let's get started discussing income strategy. What does it mean to us? How do we apply it? And let me give you some insights. Again, income strategies, there's no one defined answer to that. Just like in the world of trading, investing, there's no right or wrong way to make money. If you're making money trading, great, one way. If you're looking for another way, great, we can show you. But again, let's discuss this concept of how can you use financial markets to look for income in the markets, a certain way that we're going to discuss here in this video. So let's define it. So this is not Warren Buffett style investing where we're going to try to buy stocks that pay us dividends. So one of the biggest issues with that is dividend investing is, look, if you're only starting out with $5, $10, $15, $20, $50,000, it's hard to get any decent income off dividends. Now, if you have a $500,000 portfolio or a $2 or $3 or $4 million portfolio, now of course the arena of investing changes and dividends start to make sense. For most people, right, we want to learn to trade for income or a side business or that kind of concept. So how can you use it? You can use options, which I'm going to discuss here. We're going to use price charts, and we're going to look at this concept that most trades last anywhere from a matter of minutes to 60 days. So again, a lot of you looking to trade for income to make money, which most of you are, right? Most people are not buy and hold for 10 years. We're going to discuss this concept. So I don't want to search companies and research their balance sheets. I don't want to trade IPOs. I don't want to get a tip from a friend saying the stock's going to go higher and me just guessing whether or not. You're better off probably going to Vegas and play to the roulette tables using that strategy versus a repeatable process, which hopefully I can instill in this video and other ones on this site. So how do you create income? So the number one kind of concept most people think to trade income from markets is dividend stocks. So dividend stocks work extremely well. Now typically, and again, I'm not a real big fan of financial advisors, as you'll learn through these videos and other videos, but typically most financial advisors will tell people, look, we're going to put you in blue chip stocks. They've probably watched the Wolf of Wall Street movie too many times. Repeat those lines and say, we're going to, find the blue chip stocks, put you in the dividend stocks, and you're going to make money. Look, this strategy works if you have a lot of money. If you're getting a stock that even a preferred stock that's paying you 5% a year on $5,000 or $20,000, that doesn't add up to real dollars and cents. So it looks good on paper, but it doesn't translate to any real dollars. So that kind of concept is, repeated to most retail investors. I'm a fan of dividend stocks if you're trading a large portfolio. That makes sense. I'm a fan of preferred shares and preferred stocks, which you're going to be talking about in other videos, again, if I have a large portfolio. But again, most people aren't trading with $2 million in an IRA or a brokerage account. So again, this traditional thinking, and again, nothing against Warren Buffett, obviously he's done well for himself, 10 times, million times smarter than I am, but what he does is dated and it only really applies to big money players. Right? Buying and holding a stock for years like Coca-Cola, like he's done, is not the same. The way the Federal Reserve has gone into markets, the way markets move today, it's hard to find these kind of gem stocks and ride them for 10, 15, 20 years. It's not 1975 anymore. It's not 1995 anymore. It's not 2005 anymore, right? The markets have changed. So again, most people make this mistake because they can use that strategy. I can, right? What a hedge fund investor like, Bill Ackman does or Kyle Icahn does doesn't translate to what we do. A lot of the products they trade, right, are not accessible to retail investors. The way that they trade requires large capital. So again, let's take them out of the picture. Let me show you a realistic approach to actually creating income. Whether you've done this before, whether you've never done this, whether you're kind of suspect of this, kind of hear me out and let me give you my spiel as I get into this. So let me give you kind of a big Wall Street lie. And again, I come from 14 years of working in institutional finance as a proprietary futures trader, as a former portfolio manager at a long-short hedge fund. I worked on an FX trading desk. I worked at Charles Schwab. I worked at a family office. There's a lot of lies and misconceptions in the world of Wall Street. One of the biggest lies that I've seen told is volatility is bad. It's not. Volatility is extremely good if you want to make money in the markets. This concept that volatility is bad is something that has kind of been pushed by financial advisors. Again, you'll hear me in other videos. There's a lot of conflict of interest with financial advisors. Again, not a big fan of them. No offense if you're watching this video. We'll get into it more in other videos. So volatility makes it tick. So when markets move, it creates opportunity. So we can trade stocks, we can trade options, we can trade futures. And yet again, you don't just need to buy. There's this concept that you can only buy things that go up. Professional traders understand that when markets go down as well, you can make money from that. Whether it's buying put options, whether it's using call spreads, whether it's shorting futures. There's multiple ways to slice the bread, and we want to show you how to do that. So that being said, volatility does matter when you're trading in markets. So the good thing about options is this. Let's say you're not trading with a $100,000 account. Because typically what happens is this. Most people come into this business with $5,000 or $10,000 and they immediately rush to penny stocks because they can buy more shares because of a limited amount of capital. So what we like to teach is a simple strategy of buying calls and puts. Not in our entire strategy. We have different courses, different concepts, different goals for those courses. But a simple way to replace shares, because a share of Apple is expensive, a share of Google is expensive, is to replace it with call or put options. So let's kind of talk about the next kind of concept, knowing your risk. So the thing with shares is a higher cost to control more. So what happens is legitimately 9 times out of 10, people come in with a small amount of money and they're going to go and buy penny stocks or microcap stocks because again, they can control more shares. It's the number one kind of alley that sucks most retail traders into this industry in, and sometimes it works, more than often it doesn't because it's not sustainable. I also like futures, right? Futures is another viable option, but options as well. It's an easier way to express your idea for less capital, if you know what you're doing. So let me give you some final points on income trading. We're going to talk about this more in some additional videos on the site, but I want to just start you off with this short video here. So think of income trading like cash flow business. So whether you start an e-commerce business, whether you're starting a side hustle that you're selling, again, t-shirts, on whatever it is, right? Think of this business as trading for income, starting with $5,000 to $20,000 in capital, right? Maybe a focus on futures, maybe a focus on calls and puts. Have a focus on price charts, not the idea that, hey, look, I need to buy an IPO, that IPO's at 20 and I need to take it to 200 or 300. We're not looking for 1, 2, 3 year ideas. We're looking for ideas that last anywhere from 1 day to 60 days. I want cash flow in my business. I'm not looking to buy Amazon and wait 10 years for it to become profitable. So we want small wins. That's a big thing with this. We're not looking for $15,000, $20,000 wins. Is it nice? Yeah. I want small wins. I want $200, $300, $400. Those small wins will add up to your bottom line in your trading business.